Assalamualaikum. Welcome to Member Spotlight by Anite Muslim Chamber of Business. MCOB is a membership-based social enterprise with a mission to create a thriving Muslim business community. It's the power of collective wisdom, continued learning, and thought leadership brought together for Muslims by Muslims. Our core belief is that business leaders thrive when they have access to a supportive community of peers who challenge and inspire each other. Today, we have with us our member Zoya Mirza. Zoya is an emotional abuse, trauma, and grief counselor. Her practice is rooted in holistic healing, where emotional growth and spiritual support come together. She is deeply committed in guiding her clients through their life's struggles and challenges, whether it's emotional abuse, trauma, or profound loss, so they can have a renewed purpose and empower themselves. Welcome, Zoya.
Assalamu alaikum, Kashif. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Would love to hear your journey, how you got to where you are today.
Um, my journey is a long journey, right? So I won't bore you with all of those details, but why I am here is I have been passionate about helping people basically deal with their emotions, and emotion abuse has become the core of my practice, which basically gets unnoticed. People, ignore it. People do not, talk about it. They don't want to talk about it because they don't know what underlies the effect of it. So the journey basically started and led to having to help people regulate their emotions and things that they are dealing with in their daily lives. And so far what I have seen with clients is that when they come to me, it's about emotional abuse. They do not know what is happening to them, and I just help them understand what's going on with them.
Okay, all right. So, related to this, and you have been practicing for a while now, your experience, please share with us the services that you are providing through your company, EHealistic. What type of services you are providing and what type of clients you are seeing?
Right, so I am a psychotherapist, right? And I also have a background in spiritual counseling. I'm also a chaplain.
Okay.
The Within the psychotherapy realm, we have different approaches, right? So people use specific approaches to treatment. I have a very integrative, eclectic style. I take from various approaches and um, help clients with various disorders that are out there, like so anxiety, depression, trauma, PTSD specifically, and mood disorders. You name any, psychological, mental health issues people have out there. That's what I, address. Specifically, focusing on emotional abuse. I also work with clients with grief and bereavement. And I am an EMDR trained therapist, so I am, bringing that expertise to help clients with any sort of trauma that they are going through.
Okay. Would you be able to share some stories from your clients where you found them and how your approach helped them transform from one state of mind to another?
Oh, there are so many. Most of the clients that I've seen progress in is having to become aware of their, underlying issues. And I get this a lot from my client that they say, "Oh, I didn't know this was happening to me. I didn't know what so and so was doing to me. Be it the spouse, a friend, or a parent." And the awareness aspect of it, I feel like that has been the key. That once they know, once during our session when we are discussing, it clicks. Okay, oh wow, um, that has been happening when they make connections, and that's what I thrive on, especially with my clients, is that making connections. Right? It's not me telling them what is happening; it is talking and working with them and finding those connections. has been, why, what they are going through, and then how to deal with it. So recently I started doing EMDR treatment, and one of my clients, they were struggling with bullying, and through the EMDR, the treatment that we did, she was able to overcome the the sort of negative cognition of that I am not worthy, I am not good enough, I'm not competent. So at the end of the session, she's like, wow, no, I am good enough, I am competent, and I can face any bully or any person that come my way. So those kinds of the things that are sort of constant in my therapy sessions. Clients are like, oh, wow, I feel so much better, having to make those connections.
Okay. Are there any tools or any anything that you would suggest for people to look into in terms of maintaining their mental health?
Yes, there are quite a few. One, actually, not just one, but first one to begin is the mindfulness, right? We do the deep breathing. There's specific therapeutic deep breathing that I teach my clients to first do the deep breathing, become aware, right? Because
Mhm.
when you are in that awareness mode, you are able to deal with anything that is in front of you. So mindfulness, I would do a lot of uh, you know techniques that the clients are comfortable with, right? So some are like journaling, right? We journal, to get our thoughts out there. Um, uh, Depending on the spirituality and religiosity of the people, right? So I do offer some like supplications, right? That they can do to use those tools to feel better about themselves.
Okay, all right. Any other any tips that you can provide to our viewers in terms of how they can maintain their mental health?
It's basically awareness, right? Being present in the moment, right? And awareness comes from your own, like I said, from the mindfulness technique of deep breathing, right?
Mhm.
That it becomes the key that if there is a trigger, if there is something that is coming up for me, I can do my deep breathing, right? I can we do a lot of CBTs, right? So like the thought process, if it is coming to me,
Mhm.
how I can look at it, in a positive way, right? But the key is to start with the mindfulness, start with the awareness, and then going into the cognitions, and then be able to uh, deal with whatever that is happening.
Okay, all right. I was just looking at the report a few weeks ago. There was a report that about in states, 55% people they feel lonely.
Hmm.
And so that is a continuously that number is increasing. The trends are
Hmm.
that more and more people every day they are lonely, and through that they are going into depression and whatnot. So, what would be the remedy in your what remedy you would suggest to people like that?
Seek out support. Find someone you can talk to. I hear a lot, like I feel alone. I feel, if you do not have those resources, right? If you don't have people around you, if you don't have a good support system, I suggest being by yourself has been, very effective. And I've seen with some of my clients, it's like, okay, this is the time maybe that I need to be alone with myself to really do some introspection, to really, look into what has been happening, spend my time with myself. So then I know what is happening, and I can, understand what is really going on. And again, it's always like what my clients normally do, where they find comfort, right?
Mhm.
Suggesting to go for a walk. A lot of clients have taken that up, and then they go out for a quiet walk on their own, right? That gives you some deep reflection. That gives you mind to be understanding yourself first, because I do believe when you know yourself, you know God, right? And then everything starts with yourself, healing yourself, the true self, that we call that fitra, that you were born on, right? So
Yes.
going back to protecting that, being by self, and you know um, basically helping yourself first, and
Okay.
then going from there.
You made references to the spiritual side or the religious side of it. So let me ask you, I have seen like many therapists who are just therapists, or there are people who are just the chaplains, or other people who are just on the religious side. Having
Mhm.
both of them combined in you, how how much does it help you in understanding the situation and providing the right solution?
Oh, it helps tremendously, right? I call myself a holistic counselor, right? I look at the holistic aspect of a client, right? Even though some of my clients who are not spiritual or religious, right, there is always some element of spirituality that I'm able to connect, for them and with them, that they are able to see, okay, this is the tool that I can use to make life changes. So I've seen that it is not one formula fits everybody. I've seen variety of people, and they all are like, they're unique in their own way. Their problems are unique in their own way, right? If I am treating a person with depression, and and they are also spiritual, right? And then they're like, okay, how do I reconcile both? I should not be depressed, right? But
Mhm.
how can I? So I we sort of explore, right, what is their spirituality, how we can help that, make that a tool to help with the depression. And then within depression is basically going back in the past, right? I do believe that the psychoanalytic way in that regard is very useful, that there is some underlying things that are coming from the past that help you in the present. So combination of that, the whole person's environment, the family, their current situation, their work, and everything, that all accounts into treating a person and making lifelong changes. And I've seen changes that are long lasting, that are more effective, when they are, when we have looked at them as from a holistic lens.
Okay, no, that's great. I'm gonna change gears on you in terms of tell us more about the business aspect of it. You becoming an entrepreneur. How is the journey so far?
It is very tough. It is very, very difficult. Running your own business is not the easiest. It's not easy at all, I would say. There's so many challenges, so many
Mhm.
people to deal with. But I feel like that is a need, because, having your own practice and be your own boss, I feel like that,
Mhm.
that gives you more sort of chances of practice what you believe in, right? So if you're working with somebody, then you're limited, right? Then you have to follow their sort of system. But having their own business, where it has lots of challenges, but it's also rewarding, that you are able to provide the services that are true to you.
Okay, all right. Where do you see the future of EHealistic?
EHealistic, I'm hoping, and I don't. we're currently not like seeing like, where would it be, but the hopes are that it is expanded to a bigger practice. There are more practitioners in it, and everybody is aligned on, more on awareness, right? More on a holistic approach of treatment, in which everybody is taken care of holistically, and you know. So inshallah, that's the goal,
All
or that's
right.
a hope at least.
Yes, looking forward to your growth and your company's growth, and looking forward to seeing you become like a very uh, like a name that is known to everybody in the household. So thank you very
Inshallah.
much for being here today. Really appreciate your participation and you being a member at MCOB.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sonica.